After something like this happens to you, it's hard to find a reason to do anything except fight back. We were more than father and daughter, we were best friends. As a single father, I learned a lot of things about my children that only a single parent could understand. Me and Jessie used to argue about who loved each other the most. And one day I told her, I said, you know, I love you this much. And that means I love you all the way around. And she looked up at me and she said, Daddy, I love you this much and nothing will come between us. I come home this morning from Carmen's and Jessie was gone. She's gone, baby. We don't know where she's at.
Archie,
Yeah.
your son wants to talk to you.
Dad, I swear I'm gonna blow up on them. I'm about to do the same. They're accusing me, Mark. I know. That's what they've come to me and said. And I told them that there ain't no way. And they keep saying and saying. And I keep telling them my dad wouldn't do anything. When he tried to get up and leave, they manhandled him. They grabbed him, put him up against the wall, put his arms behind his back.
It's true, he told me that.
Yeah. But wait a minute, we weren't arrested. And why all of a sudden were we the bad guys? Was I a bad guy because I had long hair and because I said I smoked pot?
You know, I told people everybody was in question, and I apologized to Ruth and Archie for putting them through the agony we put them through, but we really weren't representing them. We weren't representing Mark. We were trying to find a little girl.
He lived directly across the street from me. He broke into my home, took my daughter to his house, and kept her there for 3 days as he raped her. He kept her in a closet, tied with speaker wire, placed her in 2 trash bags, tied it shut, placed her in a hole alive, and buried her. I've spent the last 2 years traveling to 25, 26 different states, implementing either all of Jessie's law or parts of Jessie's law. We went, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, just everywhere. And each time there's resistance to Jessie's law. The main problem is judges don't like, and prosecutors don't like mandatory sentencing because it takes discretion away from them.
Hey, dude.
How are you, buddy?
It's good to see
You
you.
too. Let me introduce you to Carl Wimmer. Carl's the sponsor of our Jessica's Law.
This is my daughter Jade. Jade, this is Jessica's dad right here.
Say, I don't want to talk more about it. Close your eyes and we'll all disappear. See what? Now I can't see you.
What a pleasure it is to meet you. And glad to have you here.
Thanks, man.
Glad to have you here.
You know, if I cover one up, I can only see half of you.
What are you going to say? What are you going to do to persuade the rest of the
I
life?
will tell them a story about a little girl in Florida. That's not persuading. These are facts. These are the things that went wrong from the day that she was abducted to the day she died. The entire system failed.
Always get a big suite up there for $150.
Well, I've shed a lot of tears for your daughter, and I never even knew her. And
What happened to her and the way it happened, I think it really pushed a lot of people over the edge. Sitting through the trial was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to kill him.
The defendant told Reed, I saw her playing outside the street. What else did he tell Officer Reed? That he told Jessie, I'm taking you to your father. Jessie was taken from her bed with her little stuffed dolphin that her father had gotten her earlier that week at the Florida State Fair. And after the defendant raped her, put her in 2 garbage bags and placed her in the ground.
What happens when the cameras go away? These are your kids too. You gonna let this die down with Jessie? Or are you gonna keep it in the media?
You can see how he's just grown up over the last few years. He couldn't just be Mark Lunsford. Now he had to be Mark Lunsford, Jessica Lunsford's dad. You can see a man who doesn't know really what's going on. He just knows that he's hurting and that he knows who did it and he wants vengeance. Fast forward to 2007, he's in a suit, he's in a tie, he still has the long hair, but he takes the sunglasses off for interviews, and the emotions are held in check for the most part, and he has a message and he focuses on it.
Mention the word sex offender and most people think of John Cooey, the man convicted of sexually assaulting and killing 9-year-old Jessica Lunsford. Now her half-brother, 18-year-old Joshua Lunsford, is facing a charge of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor.
They wouldn't let the little girl testify because all she kept saying was, he didn't, you know, I said it was okay. You know, it was a together thing. It wasn't just him. And on his 18th birthday, this is what he got from her parents. Now, they were okay with it before his birthday.
The irony of the whole situation is whether or not he is going to have to register as a sex offender. That's what breaks Mark's heart, because you know that's not his intent. His intent was not to punish kids like Josh. His intent was to punish sex offenders.
They throwing you like a little rag doll.
He won't even try to stay here. He won't try to sleep here. And several times when he was here, you know, and his mother, she'd hear him crying at night, and she'd go in there and he'd say, Mama, I just can't stay here. I have to get out. Nobody under really stands him. I guess that's why me and his mother, we try to show that we love him constantly. You know, I mean, you have to understand, I don't have a girlfriend. I broke up with Jeanette because, you know, it was just too stressful for me to be in a relationship and have to do what I do. I couldn't juggle the two things. And I only have one choice, and it's not a relationship. There's too much that I have to do, and I'm not gonna turn my back on none of these kids. I don't even know them, never even met them before in my life, but I'm not gonna turn my back on them so I can have a relationship and be normal. Because I've already settled in my mind, we're not normal anymore. We're not normal, we're angry, we're hurt, and we lost the most precious thing that we will ever have in our life, ever. It can never be replaced. You can get a new girlfriend. You might find a better one, but you ain't never gonna get a kid like the one you had. Never.